Welcome back to Red Recapped. Today, we'll be diving into the 2005 film Four Brothers. As we discuss the movie, please note that there will be spoilers ahead. So, without any more delay, let's get started with the film. The film opens with introducing us to Evelyn Mercer, an elderly woman. We witness her catching a child red-handed for stealing chocolate from a store. Filled with fear of the repercussions, the child watches anxiously as Evelyn reproaches him for his act of theft. After ensuring that the young culprit apologizes and pledges to refrain from stealing in the future, Evelyn sends him home. Continuing with her errands, tragedy strikes when two robbers enter the store and fatally shoot the cashier. The sound of gunshots causes chaos as it becomes clear that the robbers have also killed Evelyn. This devastating incident leaves the entire community in shock, and everyone comes together to attend her funeral. Evelyn Mercer is remembered by many for her genuine kindness and unwavering compassion throughout her life. Meanwhile, two police officers, Green and Fowler, can be overheard discussing Evelyn Mercer's four adopted children. Green discloses that the eldest son, Bobby Mercer, has gained quite a notorious reputation due to his violent tendencies, leading to multiple expulsions from the hockey team. On the other hand, Jeremiah, the second son, is known for his law-abiding nature and responsible behavior. The youngest, Jack, is depicted as innocent and naive person. However, the whereabouts of the third son, Angel, remain shrouded in mystery. Angel, an ex-soldier with a commanding presence, has earned respect from various gangs. Later that evening, the three brothers gather at their childhood home to mourn the untimely passing of their beloved mother. To their astonishment, Angel awaits them inside. Taking the lead as the eldest, Bobby assigns rooms for his younger siblings, designating his mother's old room for himself. Once the initial shock and grief have subsided, Bobby opens up to Jack, who is strumming his guitar, expressing his persistent feeling that their mother's death was not a random act of violence. Meanwhile, Angel ventures out to visit an ex-girlfriend but returns accompanied by her former boyfriend, much to Bobby's irritation. He vehemently opposes the idea of their mother's house being transformed into a shelter for random individuals. As they gather around the dinner table to honor their mother's memory, the siblings fondly reminisce about her blushing moments and wise advice. Yet, the pain of their loss weighs heavily on Bobby, leading him to propose reliving their cherished childhood memories through a game of hockey. Just as they used to, the siblings pay a visit to their mother's lawyer to discuss the inheritance left behind. To their surprise, they discover that only Jerry and Jack's birth certificates are present among the belongings entrusted to them, while Bobby and Angel's documents are conspicuously absent. Devastated and overwhelmed, they seek solace in a bar, drowning their sorrows. There, they encounter the bar owner who recognizes Bobby and offers a lead on a potential witness who might have seen their mother's murder. Determined to unravel the truth behind her death, Bobby, Angel, and Jack assume the roles of police officers and track down the alleged witness. Unfortunately, their interrogation yields no useful information, except for a peculiar detail about the basketball court lights near the crime scene always being turned off before 10 p.m. Skeptical but curious, Bobby decides to test the witness's claim by taking him to the basketball court at 10 p.m. To their astonishment, the lights do go out just as they were about to confront the witness, giving him a chance to escape. The following day, Jerry, who had initially hesitated to join the search for their adoptive mother's killer, has a change of heart. Determined to find the mastermind behind the heinous crime, the trio visits the supermarket where their mother was murdered and requests access to the CCTV footage. The store owner reveals that the police had spoken to a basketball player witness who had distinct features, including black skin, afro hair, and a dog. Armed with this valuable information, they rush to the basketball court where a match is taking place, hoping to find the witness and uncover the truth behind their mother's murder. As soon as they arrived at the basketball court, Bobby wasted no time and stormed onto the field, bringing the game to an abrupt halt. He straight up said they were on a mission to find a guy who might have seen their mom get killed. Out of nowhere, this dude in the crowd got scared and bolted. So, the three of them quickly gave chase and caught up to him, asking him where the witness was. Turns out, his cousin Damien was the one they were after. While they were chilling in the car waiting for Damien to show up, Jerry got a call from his son reminding him about hitting the gym. Reluctantly, Jerry bounced, leaving Bobby and Jack to keep up the pursuit. Finally, they spotted Damien and went full throttle after him, dead set on catching him and getting the answers they needed to nail their mom's killer. When Bobby tried to nab Damien, he got hit with a double whammy, two fierce dogs guarding Damien's escape. But Bobby didn't back down. He pulled a bold move and cut the rope Damien was using to make a run for it, causing him to take a spill. Even after they grilled him, Damien stayed tight-lipped and totally uncooperative. Just when they were about to throw in the towel, Damien called them up with a vital piece of info, spilling the beans on where Evelyn's killer was hiding. But he had a condition: he wanted them to call an ambulance. The three of them hit up a bar, thinking that's where the perp was hanging out. These two dudes having a drink caught wind of their presence and booked it out of there in a car, which kicked off a crazy high-speed chase. The next day, while Sophie was patching up Bobby, Green and Fowler showed up at their crib to grill Bobby about his involvement in the murder of those two dudes the night before. Green asked about the wound on Bobby's hand, thinking it was connected to the crime. But Bobby played it cool and evasive, saying he got it playing hockey. Fowler dropped a bombshell by showing a strand of Bobby's hair found on the victims' bodies. But Bobby stuck to his guns and kept denying any involvement, believing the cops were trying to frame him. Meanwhile, in another part of town, this big-shot gangster named Victor Sweet was throwing a party. He chewed out one of his guys, Evan, for not grasping how serious it was that those two robbers who killed Evelyn were dead. As punishment, Evan and his wife went through some humiliating crap. While Bobby was mourning his mom's death, he swore to track down the mastermind behind it all. He armed himself with the perp's ID card and set out on a dangerous mission, with only his brother Jack riding shotgun. At the same time, Angel was caught up with his girl Sophie when an unexpected visitor dropped by with news that Jerry had dropped a fat stack on insurance for Bobby, even though they were flat broke. That revelation made Angel super suspicious and made him dig deeper into the whole situation. As Bobby and Jack rolled up to the murderer's crib, they strapped themselves with weapons and brought along a camera to help with their snooping. Meanwhile, Angel was trying to gather information from Jerry's friend, who spilled the beans that Jerry had gotten mixed up with some dangerous gangsters. Councilman Douglas, a member of the council, had even played a part in shutting down Jerry's warehouse, implicating him in some shady businesses. One evening, Angel shared with Bobby the suspicious circumstances surrounding Jerry's troubles. Angel suggested that Bobby meet with Councilman Douglas, who might have more knowledge about the people involved. Meanwhile, Angel would dig for additional leads. Bobby and Jack waited for Councilman Douglas in a parking lot outside his office. When Douglas showed up, Bobby confronted him about the person causing trouble for Jerry. But Douglas flat out refused to answer and brushed them off. It was only after Bobby and Jack threatened to set fire to Douglas's car that he finally gave in and mentioned the name Victor Sweet. At the police station, Green grew suspicious of Fowler after reviewing CCTV footage of Fowler having a long conversation with Evelyn before her murder. Green found it strange that Fowler didn't recognize Evelyn at the time of her death. Meanwhile, Bobby, Angel, and Jack gathered at a bowling club to share information. Angel revealed that Jerry had borrowed money from several people, including Evan, who happened to be present at the club. To their surprise, Jerry showed up and approached Evan with an envelope containing money to repay the debt. After Jerry left, they quickly went to Evan and demanded the envelope back. At Victor's headquarters, Douglas was caught leaking confidential information to Bobby. As punishment, he was humiliated by being seated at a children's table. Meanwhile, Bobby, Angel, and Jack discussed their plan to confront Jerry about his suspicious behavior. The following morning, Jerry arrived at their adoptive mother's house, and Bobby immediately attacked him. Jerry confessed that he had used their mother's insurance money to pay off his debts but dropped a shocking truth: he had been financially supporting their mother all along and claimed he wasn't responsible for her murder. Jerry accused Victor of orchestrating the murder to force him to give him the money he needed to reopen his warehouse. Meanwhile, Jack was interrupted and attacked by someone. In the end, the Mercer family managed to get rid of the criminals, but tragically lost another family member. Seeking revenge, Bobby interrogated one of the remaining criminals to find out who was behind the attacks. It was revealed that Victor was the mastermind behind everything, further fueling Bobby's rage, leading him to shoot the criminal. When the cops showed up, Green assured the Mercer family that what they did was self-defense and totally justified. Elsewhere, Green found Fowler and straight up asked Fowler about Evelyn, but that guy flat out refused to spill anything, which got Green all riled up. Out of anger, Green starts beating Fowler, grabbing his police patch. To Green's surprise, as he's leaving, Fowler shot and killed him. He then called into dispatch, claiming two black assailants had fired upon Green. Bobby, Angel, and Jerry were hatching their revenge plan against Victor and Fowler. Jerry stepped up and volunteered to meet with Victor, bringing along $400,000 as requested. After meeting with Evan to set things up, Jerry came back home and filled his brothers in on the details. He sorted out his money situation, and Angel used a little kid to deliver a box of chocolates to Fowler's place as a distraction, making Fowler unaware of Jerry's meetup with Victor. At 4 p.m., Evan rolled up with Victor's crew to pick up Jerry for the meeting. While all that was going down, Sophie snitched on her boyfriend's plan to off Fowler, which led to the police surrounding Fowler's house. Angel got down to business and grilled Fowler until he finally spilled the beans about Green's death, which Angel recorded. But then, Fowler turned the tables and threatened the police when they were caught off guard. Jerry made his way to a frozen lake to meet Victor, who opened up a bag of money that Jerry brought, thinking it would seal the deal. Victor pulled a fast one and claimed it was only for an apology, forgiving the Mercer family. He even had the nerve to ask for a gun to kill Jerry, but his goons refused to go along with it. Fed up with Victor's nonsense, his own crew turned against him, and that left Victor feeling real uneasy. Knowing he had to act fast to save his own skin and bring his men to justice, Victor spilled the beans, saying he already tipped off Fowler and the cops, making it seem like they were on their way to arrest everyone. But time kept ticking, and nobody showed up. Victor got more and more ticked off, itching for a fight and daring anyone to stand up to him. But no one had the guts. Until a lone figure appeared on the horizon. That's when Bobby rolled in, wasted no time, and took off his jacket, ready to throw down with Victor. Bobby came out on top, leaving Victor at his mercy. With a cold, calculated look, Bobby ordered his crew to dump Victor into the icy lake nearby. Later on, back at the police station, Bobby, Angel, and Jerry got grilled about Victor's murder. They turned on the charm, played their parts, and managed to manipulate the situation in their favor. They walked out of there without any charges. With all the Mercer family drama behind them, Bobby, Angel, and Jerry decided to honor their adopted mom's memory by turning her place into a meeting spot for their crew. That's all from the video. Thanks for watching, and take care.